Hello, so fam, what's up? What it do? Welcome to K&M Witchery or Readings by K&M. That's me. I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe, for those of y'all who may not know. And this is your pick a card all about your person. I created this pick a card with the intention of answering the question, like, what's really going on in there? You know, if you could peel back all of those onion layers of things that are left unspoken, perhaps maybe due to separation or just overall lack of communication, whatever the cause may be, we're going to, number one, dive into a particular person in your life. So before we begin, Soul Fam, I want you to already begin to start thinking about a person right now, because I'm going to be utilizing your energy to get to theirs, okay? To make this resonate as best as possible with you, but it's still giving you the information that you require, keeping, of course, some bit of privacy wherever it is that is needed. Remembering this is also a YouTube video, so it won't resonate 1000% with every single one of y'all tuning in, but I just figured we can have some fun. So to start, we're going to identify this person, okay? We'll spend several minutes, as long as it takes, for you to get your aha moment. Okay, this is the person in my life that we are channeling through today. And then we're going to, well, expose them. We'll dive into a little bit deeper of what's really going on with them, followed by some advice for you, so you know what it is that you gotta do. Because who knows? I have no idea what to expect. These are not compiled rather. These are all separate decks that we're going to be utilizing and shuffling out some stories and hopefully the clarity that you are requiring. Without further ado, there are 4 decks in front of you. Deck 1 is the Original Tarot. Deck 2 is the Unfolding Path Tarot. Deck 3 is the Fountain Tarot. And deck 4 is the Muse Tarot. So go ahead, again, think about your person, and then allow your intuition to take the lead from there. Perhaps you're unable to take your eyes off of a pile or two. Perhaps you keep hearing a number being repeated in your mind, or you simply know, you got this gut feeling that behind this particular pile lie the answers and the clarity that you are seeking. Whichever deck it is, and yes, it can be more than one, I hope you will enjoy this video and come along the ride with me. Be sure to scroll down below to the appropriate chapters, and if at any point you resonate, do please let me know with a comment down below, or just give this a quick like if you're a little shy. Any little bit of engagement goes a long way, so thank you for being here. And without further ado, let's get these messages for you. See you on the other side. Hello, what's up? What it do? Pile number 1, y'all chose the Original Tarot. So let's dive on into your reading. I heard bottom. The intention is to offer y'all all of the clarity that is required. Okay, whatever that might mean. I'm not really sure just yet. It could be a Capricorn that you are dealing with, or you can be a Capricorn. If you end up resonating personally to whoever it is that I'm channeling into right now, you may want to choose another deck or stick around anyways, because there might be some messages here for you. Pile number 1, you guys are kind of like my guinea pigs. I never really know what kind of reading I'm going to have until I just start reading them. Okay, so getting into who this person is, I am feeling quite heavy earth sign. Okay, meaning like they're really grounded, or they're really stoic. They're really, I just heard, kept to themselves. This person can very well be hiding a lot to themselves right now, feeling a lot of resistance and skepticism towards aspects of healing. There's something really heavy on their shoulders. This is someone with the 10 of Cups here, pile number one. This could be someone that you are, number one, married to. Number two, this could be like your ideal person. Like say perhaps maybe you're not in a relationship with them, but the person that you perceive them to be is someone that you wouldn't mind ending up with. Perhaps maybe this is also an ex, and once upon a time you had this we will be forever together kind of a thing, okay? And then, you know, now there's some separation. So I'm feeling like that was an interesting vibration that just happened to with like my mouth when I was saying an interesting wave. There could be some sort of like a speech impediment or something. That's only going to hit for a couple of y'all. I channeled that in before I pressed play for y'all. There's something about that here for pile number one. Or this person just might like kind of lose their head, lose their voice, lose their ability to speak around you, or you to them. Like this could just be like someone who like literally takes your breath away, you know? They just kind of take your ability to think and leave you feeling nothing but an airhead, okay? So there's a multitude of different ways that you connect to this person. But them taking your breath away is one thing for sure. I am sensing though, and I'm unsure, Soul Fam, if this is your energy that I'm picking up on or your person. It could be an interesting mirror effect, though, now that I said that. There might be this, like, great, dire desire for each other, like a temptation, but one that you just simply cannot have. There is this unattainable energy that I'm feeling here. It's like you just don't have them 100%. Even if you're married to them, okay, I'm not saying like they're out there like cheating or anything, don't get me wrong. It's just that like you're not fully let in. Like there's still something missing. Like there's something untouchable. And this person definitely keeps that reserved to themselves, okay? There's a lot of really deep anxieties that this person might very well be sitting with ever so quietly, you know. I just heard when you think they're sleeping, like they're thinking a lot about their woes, and what those woes are we will dive into. We'll get a little bit, you know, we'll get a little into it as much as of course the energy will allow, because some things are also like, here's the thing, right? They're not always for you to know. Like you as in like the viewer, or even just me, you know, like there's some things that when it's dealing with another person, your brain, your powerful unconscious mind, your human experience is very personal. So it will seek something and it will offer you resonance on something that is in so many ways connected to you, because otherwise it's irrelevant information and it won't click. I don't know. It's like reading a horoscope fucking 2 weeks ago. Do you remember it verbatim? Like it was just something that just passed you by. But there's something, I don't know why that was so relevant for me to specify here, pile number one. But there are some things that this person is guarding you from. And because they likely feel like it's not pertinent for you to know, or they also could believe that they're very alone in this too. I'm feeling this sense of like, kind of like dread. Like I think your person's kind of going through something, you know? On the outside though, they could very well be keeping it, I don't know, kind of more independent, feeling as though all is okay. But yet underlining all of that, there's this heaviness. So this person on the outside, I mean, when I think of the 9 of coins, this is my independent card. This is my manifestational, obtaining, intuitive following energy. And it's very humble and it's fun. And this person really knows how to do it for themselves. And I think that this is how this person is oftenly like portrayed, like they have it all together. But then behind the shield of resistance lie emotional and mental depths and experiences and traumas and things that, well, they just harbor for themselves. Let me just put it in that perspective. So I'm really not surprised, Soul Fam, if you're tuning in wondering what's really going on with this person, because it could very well be that every single time you try to understand or get deeper with this person, this barrier comes on in, and they could have people-pleasing tendencies. They may just put on a really good face. They honestly could have a lot of things like together, okay? Despite the devil being here, like this is kind of like the devil on your shoulder kind of energy, you know, but still sturdy. It happens more so on the mental and unconscious. Yeah, there's like a bunch of hidden shit. But seemingly it's like they have everything that they could possibly want. A lot of people could also be really tempted to want to connect to this person. Like they could be a very tempting energy. This could very well be someone that you want to marry or are married to, or again, had the intention to, because some of y'all are on different coins of things. Do I think that you are in some communication? I did hear yes. Okay. It's like, so this isn't someone who you can't just like text out of the blue. There might be a lot of reasons and causes why you would stop yourself from doing that, okay? But technically you can. Like there's some sort of like an opening. Specifically, I'm seeing Instagram or WhatsApp. I'm seeing like that green thing in my clairvoyance, this card here. Whoa. King of Cups in reverse. Interesting. And it fell over there too. And you are the Two of Cups. But I heard a choice and my nose is itching on that. By the way, when my nose itches, that's just my intuitive's way of saying, you got it. The accuracy is going up. Okay, so further clarifying who this person is. Definitely someone you have been and or are in a relationship with. That and or will actually make sense to only a couple of you. It feels a little bit situationshipy, okay? This person, again, is someone that you can or had once, apparently I have to keep clarifying that, been someone that you could see yourself forever with. Like lifetimes with, okay? The Four of Wands coming out here too, that is my twin flame card, okay? But just take that as it resonates. There is also the Two of Cups here. That's my soulmate card. So if you believe in such labels and they mean something to you, please just kindly don't get carried away with it all, okay? But nevertheless, someone that you had a deep soul connection with. Is this feeling a little bit karmic? Yes. I also heard Pluto when I asked that question. So Pluto energy, Plutonic energy, to me, and this is also speaking as someone as an intuitive, not a astrologer, I sense that this is very karmic. This is very transformational. This is very inside out. This is very foreign, misunderstood. And this connection may not entirely make sense to everybody, but yet somehow you just work. But that being said, that could be the cause for a lot of mishaps and misunderstandings between you two, because there's a lot of, I just heard misconnection. Interesting. Misconnection. First of all, that's not an actual word. I'm pretty sure. Misconnection. It's like misunderstanding, but like, okay. And my throat chakra just like activated this fit. Give me like 1 second. Okay. So, this is someone that you're kind of in an alignment marathon with. Okay. Give me a second. So as someone, anyone, yourself, could work on themselves so thoroughly. They see therapists. They do a lot of the inner work. They utilize their opportunities to take risks and step out of their comfort zones and create their manifestations in a form of reality ever so confidently, and then repeat and repeat. They go up and down very quickly. This is someone who is willing to understand that through healing comes the abundance, okay? 11:44 on my timer as I was talking. It was beautiful. Thank you for the confirmation. Spirit, go off, Queen. Why am I talking like that? It's a little out of my character, I'm not gonna lie. But that's fine, whatever. Someone talks like that in here, so what's up, babe? It's talking to you. Listen, when someone is on that kind of a journey, okay, and they're metaphorically skyrocketing on the ascension path, the other one is like catching up, but like more differently, slower, if you will, okay? And it's like as soon as someone catches up, they're huffing and heaving, but you're already gone. Do y'all understand what I'm saying here? Someone is not catching up to you as quickly in this quote-unquote ascension and healing journey, and so you are misconnected. Intuitive connection is, well, lost. It's kind of, I'm hearing static. And now I'm hearing that good old 90s dial-up internet. If you know, you know. This just took a really interesting turn. The reason why I'm saying that here too, right, is that identifying, because this is all still identifying your person, by the way, okay? I told you I'll be getting in deep. This is someone whom, as soon as they think they get it and they're out of their comfort zone and they want to present you with something, it's first of all, you're not here. I'm really feeling like this King of Cups energy in some instances could be you or it could be them, and there's like this mismatch that you're trying to constantly catch up to them, pile one, and then that person is just like, as the King of Cups, just like not in service, like they're not there, out of reach. I'm hearing and like a dial tone, like just there's something here about technology with y'all that's like pretty big, and it has a lot to do with a phone. Okay, whether this is new age or whether this is 90s, but either way, I think that's exactly kind of the phenomenon that's happening here. It's like you guys are like from completely different generations. Could perhaps be an age gap here for some of you. Okay, but I'm just really thinking that this is more like a spiritual alignment, especially with the Hierophant here, right? This is definitely some form of like a religious spiritual leader, proclaimer. They talk the talk, and yet there's one's just quicker than the other to transmute, to do this thing, right? So where the question comes on in is, it could very well be that either one of you could very well be asking yourselves the question, is this person, are we even right for each other? Are we compatible? Can we make things work? Can I heal? This person could very well be thinking like, can I heal myself enough to actually present myself as happy and whole and a good husband and or wife, right? However, which way this pendulum swings here, whether this is about self-betterment and wanting to catch up and thinking almost like, is this worth it? Or if you are the one that is the skyrocketer of like, you know, spiritual work and other verbiage, that you're wondering like, is this person ever going to kind of catch up? Excuse me. There's a lot left unspoken for y'all because like my throat is on fire, okay? Feels like there's something stuck in my throat. Like there's a lot of words here that are really left unspoken between you two. And if you are married or engaged to this person, you're in a relationship with them, this could also be quite prevalent too. Okay, and the question might be the outcome, like the later, like can this work out in the long haul, right? Is this like mismatch of energies and like I'm hearing like emotional intelligence, okay? Like this has something to do with the perception of the world. I think one thing that I got to give you credit for here, pile number one, that I'm sensing from you is you tuning in might very well be the one that is inspiring this person to question their faith. But like when I'm saying inspiring to, it's not, you're not telling them what to do and how to think. You might be offering some sort of guidance, but the way that you see the world is different. And they're curious about it. They're intrigued about it because things are really working out for you if you are the one that is on that ascension path. Reverse this if it applies. Let me pull from the Sacred Symbols for Divination and Meditation deck. This is quite a long name. But it's a new guy. Yeah, I got a new deck. This is the very, very newest deck that I had received. So I'm down to dive on in. Let's further expose what's going on, okay? And then we're probably going to touch on in like another tarot deck or something. We have Divine Feminine, okay? So I did mention Twin Flames here, okay? So that might actually have something a lot to do with it, okay? I'll be curious if the Divine Masculine comes out, but nevertheless, let's see. Let's expose this person. We have safe travel, okay? Travel. See, there is something there about like a speech impediment or something. Losing of their words, or they're really nervous about some sort of travel. Someone, you guys might be at a distance, okay? Because I'm really getting pulled to these arrows, just kind of like expanding away from each other, right? And someone might be afraid to travel or not really know if it's the best move. I'm hearing there's something here about the 30, okay, 6. That also breaks down into 2 3s. So 333 might have something to do with that. I don't know. Interesting messages. We have the new moon. I just heard time frame, okay? So whenever it is that there's a new moon, might have something to do with this connection. Okay, this is a timeless reading after all. We have healer. Okay, I did immediately get High Priestess energy from this, okay? Very interesting. The new moon can very well be about manifestations as well, too, right? So you could be, I did hear advice. We're not pulling the advice for you just yet here, Soul Fam, but like, this person might be really doing a lot of healing right now, okay? And perhaps maybe if they are more spiritual based or they're like playing with this form of spirituality, they're waiting for the new moon to like heal something, okay? But if they're not fully doing like a ritual or like a something, okay? I don't really think that this person's going all out. It might just be as simple as lighting a candle and making a wish or something, which is honestly, it's perfect enough for me. That's kind of what I do too. I just set an intention. I don't do the whole, I don't do any of that stuff. Like I just, anyways, water. They might just be going through like a purification process of some sort, and the time frame, like the calendar dates of the new moon I heard coming up. So whenever it is that you're tuning in, this coming full moon, this person might have like an aha moment, may gain some clarity in and about their own healing too. They could not have spoken about perhaps maybe a health issue or something that is, that they're not fully sure about. So they have to illuminate themselves to the situation. Perhaps they're waiting on some results from doctors. Okay, there's something like that coming in. Water is also incredibly cleansing here too. So yeah, that might have a lot to do with it. Divine Feminine with healer and water coming out here, and this new moon energy. I mean, this person can be a feminine that you're tuning into, pile number 1, or this is your energy, okay? Because I'm sensing this pretty heavily too here, pile 1. This could be your energy, and they're using it. They're pulling from it. They're being inspired by it. They're being guided by it. There is something here about you playing a massive influence in this person's life, pile number 1. Whether you are in communication with this person or not, okay, married to them or not fully opening up to each other or not, like, they still look at you as someone who just knows. There is this awe about you, pile number 1, that I'm feeling from this person. And you heal them just by existing. Even through distance. Especially through distance. It's like no matter how far, if this is an ex, for example, no matter how far they run from you, you guys can be on polar opposite sides of the world and it would make no difference. You would still cross their mind every day as if. Y'all feeling me? And especially if you're together, no matter how far they may get from you metaphorically, you still draw them right back in. They're like magnetized to you. So there is this, again, I'm hearing kind of twin flamey energy here again. Only take that if it resonates. But it could very well be that someone is, through this connection and through them even keeping some things to themselves, okay? A lot of that internal work, especially if who you're dealing with is a masculine, they're more bottled up. They want to work through it, action through it. They don't sit in it like the divine feminine is learning to, right? Like when a feminine is healing their masculine, they have to stop doing so much. That's why so many divine feminines who have gone through the process prefer the slow life. We're not in this business to focus solely on, well, money. That's a beautiful part of it. One that we should learn to accept more, but rather also just the slow life, the ability to exist and be. If you know, you know. And well, this person just might be breaking into that part of themselves too. But if it's the masculine that is opening up to their feminine, they have to go about it a bit of a different way than the feminine would. So that's why there's this communication error here, because one person is more physical oriented, okay? Like I said, very grounded energy I kept picking up, and there was only one coins card on here, okay? But intuitively, I'm feeling this is someone who is very much in their body. They're here. They're in the material world more than they explore in the ethers, okay? And yet they're opening up to it, but it has to be their way so they feel safe doing it too. This person could also be seeking proof in some things, right? Like I'm definitely hearing a lot of questions coming from this person about their purpose, about being good enough. Because there's one thing here with the devil coming out, right? Just kind of like quickly shutting the door on this 10 of Cups energy. It's very interfering energy. So there might be someone around them that is kind of feeding them perhaps maybe the wrong advice. This could just honestly be like vibrational or just like circumstantial. Every single one of y'all are dealing with something a little bit different, and I'm definitely taking that into account as this is a YouTube video. But whatever your situation is, there is something and or someone, could even be a body of fucking water like an ocean in your way, that this person could be battling with like a sense of like whether or not they are worthy to take the risk and like, I don't know, bridge that gap. You know, say you are married to this person, okay? They're afraid that you might look at them differently if they open up and actually be very vulnerable with you. You know, like this person is not someone who will just eagerly cry in front of just anybody, regardless of the gender, okay? There's a lot of females that are very bottled up and do not express emotions. It takes me a while to work with them. I know, hey clients, hey babes, I see you. I'm so happy to experience you opening up to your emotional self. But that is just a random shout out to any of y'all who this may apply to tuning in. But nevertheless, there's this emotional depth between you two that is very noticeable. And this person doesn't know how to deal with it. And at the same time, it is also something very healing. So although there might be this like question from either one of you, you might both honestly be like sitting here just questioning each other and this connection and being like, what do we do with this? Like, what does it even mean? What is all this for? Will we even end up together? Are we compatible? Am I good enough? for this person. Pile number one, y'all are really going through it. Now, I did say that we might pull some more cards, and I'm getting pulled to the Klimt Tarot deck, which just so happens to be my quote-unquote Cancer deck. I call it my Cancer deck because it holds a lot of Cancer energy for me. It is mert, like a lot of my deck cases. All right, let's get some messages here for pile number one. Let's expose their person, please. What does pile one need to know about their person? I just heard I love you. And the Ace of Cups comes on in. Okay. Well, all right. I just heard we make a great team. I just heard simpatico. It's very specific. What movie is that from? Simpatico. That sounds awfully familiar, and yet I can't grasp it. This person kind of feels as though you're their missing link. So without a doubt, no matter what it is that's going on, this kind of came out sideways. No matter what it is that's going on with your person, you're not the problem, okay? Even if they're, my nose edged on that. Even if they're keeping their distance from you, pile number one, even if they're holding like you at an arm's length, or they're like even telling you to like quit it, like you might just be asking a lot of questions to this person. Even if it's just energetically, like you don't actually have to be asking a person question for them to be feeling as though you were questioning their motives, okay? Like energy is very fickle. People pick up on subtleties, okay? And your energy, if this is especially any sort of like soulful connection, okay, you might be feeling it no matter where it is that you are in the world. And it has nothing to do with you. Like whatever it is that they're processing about their past, and very likely about their own self-worth, okay? Like they don't know right now. Like the Eight of Cups right now is, should I stay or should I go? Like, do I change up my entire life? Like, do I take these risks that I've never taken before? Like this person just doesn't know what to do with themselves right now. That's why the Eight of Cups, like the card of crossing over as well. Stepping away from a life that you have built in order to find your Two of Cups, okay? This is in question, right? When cards come out sideways for me, personally, that is this questioning card. It's an opportunity for free will. Interestingly enough, the Devil is here too, okay? The Devil's like, hey, which way will you go this time? You know, there seems to be some sort of like a pattern that could repeat itself too. And especially with like this curious onlooking kind of a face here. Like this woman is suspicious about something, right? They could just be questioning their current reality right now. And it has, again, nothing to do with you. There's something here, so fam, that like you might also be taking their silence and their distance a little bit too personally than they would want you to. Because you're still their ideal. You're still someone that they might want to end up with. This is just something that they're working through. It could be because of you, or for the intention for them to feel as though they're more compatible with you. But ultimately, you're still someone that they really love. I mean, if we need further clarifiers here, okay, because I think some of y'all, and you know, I'm just going to call you out politely, just might be feeling very insecure about this connection, not really knowing where it is that you stand, okay? So to help you answer some of these questions here, pile number one, whether this person is more right for you or not, we have the Lovers as well as the Ace of Cups. Ultimately, whatever it is that they are processing deep down, okay, especially with Temperance here, and we have the King of Swords, they might be really stoic, they might be hiding a lot of things, but it's also very universally, like, spiritually led for them to do that, okay? And it could very well be to actually have them get closer to you. You seem to be part of their plan, part of their goal, which I think is beautiful. And I think at least a couple of you smiled at that. So let me know with a like if that was you, if you smiled, okay? Or if you resonate at all, just please help me out. Algorithms these days across all channels, I mean, shoot, I will accept all the love. Just naturally though, but it does definitely help with engagement. Anyways, enough of that. Soul fam. Okay. So I just kind of like quote unquote secretly asked, like, what's all this about? Like, can we dig in deeper? And Spirit said no. Okay. So we're going to protect that, because as much as I am a clairvoyant and I do have these abilities to, well, to pry and really read people's energies and stuff, I respect privacy. And so even in a reading on YouTube, your person is saying, just stop. Let me do this, okay? There is something that they're protecting themselves from, but like you from themselves, okay? And even though you don't agree with it, pile number one, that's okay. Respect it, okay? This person will come around when they feel like they are safe to do so, when they feel as though, again, it has nothing to do with you, soul fam. What could be coming up right now could be so deeply rooted and unconscious, especially with that devil energy here. Like they're working on whatever it is that they want to shield you from. It's a very interesting repeated message there, but it is one that I have to specify. So what is advice for you then? Let's dive into that. We have the Animal Apothecary Oracle deck. Shout out to Monica. Thank you so much for gifting this deck to me. I think it was it a Christmas thing? I don't know, but I love you so much for it. So thank you. What is some advice for my soul fam? I am also getting pulled to the Tarot of Mystical Moments for you as well. So we're going to further this question with that deck. It's getting very busy here, but hopefully it's not too irritating. As an intuitive reader, this energy just kind of helps. It's like different puzzle pieces all coming together. All right, advice for my pile one, please. I heard just leave them. If they need some time and some space, some quiet, just respect it. We have service here. Okay, I just heard keep going. So we're gonna pull. Oh, this card. This one I heard yes. Oh. See beyond the past. I heard one more and flip, so we'll just wait. Okay, and we're gonna just the bottom. So you're just being very meticulous with your answers here. So we have immense growth that came out here. It was also in reverse, okay? So I'm gonna actually respect it coming out in reverse, and let's talk about it. Sometimes, okay, I'm sure you've heard this before, but sometimes, soul fam, a person's not really looking for a solution. They're not looking for advice. They're not hoping for you to just fix it. They just want someone to sit with them, okay? And especially as someone, and I know a lot of you tuning in, pile number one, can relate to this. When you are going through something really heavy, and you're also the type of person yourself who doesn't express it very much. So you don't really tell people the deep, dark, sad, depressing, horrible thoughts that you might have, whatever kind of words you want to call them. Cancel to all of that, by the way. You hesitate doing that because you don't want this person to coddle you into offering advice and a very logical approach. Why? Because logic and emotions aren't on the same language. So where service comes in with this dog, okay? A service dog is this really beautiful silent companion, one that is able to read the room, obviously, usually with their powerful nose, but they can just sense things intuitively, how it is to communicate with you, how to be a friend, how to be of service to you. Sometimes, instead of asking what's wrong, or what can I do, or hey, this worked for me, maybe you can do this, or like try this out and do that, you know, it's like telling a chronically ill person to just do yoga all the fucking time. It's like, that's not, it doesn't work like that. Perhaps maybe you could just be there, just be around them, okay, when they're going through something, because this person, again, whatever it is that they're going through has less to do with you. It actually has a lot to do with the outcome, including you. But whatever it is that they're processing, the fears that they have that are standing in the way, they don't want to burden you with or feel as though they are a burden. But that doesn't mean that you still can't help them by just being with them. So perhaps maybe instead of consistently offering a solution or another question, I just heard stop asking. This person does not want any questions. Interesting. You just be there. You just exist. You just sit with them. Just cook them some food, maybe have some snacks, put on a movie, and then just say nothing. See what comes up, because that in that space alone, they might even open up. You never know, okay? Opportunities come to those whom are patient in this case. Now, immense growth in reverse, coming out here with see beyond the past. This is a little bit more of a deep dive as opposed to advice. Like this service to you, like stop asking questions, just be a friend, just be there. That's all you got to do, okay? That's pretty much the only advice that's coming up here for you, pile number one. Hopefully that resonates. We'll, of course, see what the other tarot deck has to say. But with this here, too, with this person, they might really be going into feelings of worth, okay? I'm kind of sensing like the ugly duckling kind of a story here, okay? Very sad duck here. I don't know if you guys can see the details of this card, hopefully. But there's a lot that's coming up from under the surface, and the cement growth is a little bit slower, but it'll catch you by surprise just how quickly this person is able to transmute when they're offered a safe space to actually feel and process, okay? Like more than talk therapy, for example, ever could. Perhaps maybe I'm biased saying that as the type of coach that I am, but nevertheless, there is some form of healing that they are requiring, but it could just very well have a lot to do with having a safe space to be able to do that, and just something that you can work on for yourself and for anybody, soul fam. Maybe just ask the question. I know me and my best friends do this quite often. We're like, do you just want to vent, or are you looking for solutions? Like, do you want advice? You know, because if this person just needs a shoulder to cry on, then that's all we're there for. You know, it's just be a friend. Let this person say all of the things that perhaps they don't even entirely mean, but they just have to get it off of their chest. They have to get it out of their head so they can stop circulating it. It's out. I'm sure we've all felt these kind of releases. And so this person is working through how to do more of that. Okay, so just have patience with them. And again, it really just has nothing to do with you, but everything to do with the outcome of being a better version of themselves for you. So hopefully that helps. I did hear my snaps. Oh, what? We were supposed to pull one more. You know what? We're still going to pull one anyways. I just heard no. But like, how dare you? Show face. Maybe this... Yeah, I think this deck just needed to like be in the energy. We'll pull just one card. We'll just see what happens. I keep hearing no. I defy you. Okay, the Chariot. You guys are going to be moving forward very steadily. Okay, very slow progression. By the way, snails are a really beautiful symbol for helping a friend in need. Okay, if you start seeing a lot of snails on your walks, for example, especially after it rains, just mind your step. Okay, always mind your step. That crunch is always so heartbreaking, at least for me. But apparently they regenerate just from that too. They're kind of like worms. That's something that my little brother told me. Don't quote me on it necessarily, but I really hope that's true because, ooh. Anyways, you're going to move past whatever this is going on with them together, okay? And all you got to do is just be a friend. Talk less, and I mean that with so much love. And just be there. Just be a safe space for them to just be human, okay? I don't know, guys, let me know. Pile number one, did this help? 40-40 on my time here. So that's a really nice confirmation for me, but I would really love to hear it from y'all. Did this resonate? Did it help? Do you like this style of reading? Me diving into somebody else's energy for you? Let me know. Because if so, then I could do more of these types of pick a cards. It's kind of like what do they think about you, but deeper. I don't know. Anyways, let me know. And if I don't see you in another pile, Soul Fam, I do hope to see you in another video. So do remember to subscribe and join the Soul Fam tribe. And I'll see y'all really soon. Thanks for tuning in. Peace. Hello, pile number 2. What's up? What it do? You have chosen the Unfolding Path Tarot. A very beautiful deck, if I do say so myself. Let's dive on into the person on your mind. Let's answer the questions. What's really going on? Let's expose them a little bit more. But before we do, the intention here at first is to identify this person, identify your connection to them, and let you know that this is, in fact, your reading. And if you do find any personal resonances, like I'm basically reading you, you could very well check out another pile or stay watching this one, because there might also be some messages here for you that are just being mirrored back to you. All right, let's dive on in. Spirit's saying they're ready. Fool. High Priestess. 4 of Cups. Page of Wands. I'm hearing one more and then stop. Cool. Oh, this one. Oh, 5 of Swords. Ooh. Okay, so immediately I heard I'm sorry for what I said. Okay, so this could be either one of your energy here, but it seems as though this is somebody. We're going to dive into who this is, okay? For one, they might have, this isn't necessarily, you know, the end all be all, but they might have Aries in their chart, because I'm really getting pulled to the Fool here, and I associate the Fool energy with Aries energy. It's the initiator energy, it's the choice. It's also a very freeing energy. With the High Priestess here too, though, I must say that this person's intuition is heightened. Now, as for these 3 cards here, 4 of Cups, Page of Wands, 5 of Swords. This is telling me more so about the quote-unquote human experience between you two. This is the story, okay? And there is great resistance. I don't know, something about France or Paris might have something to do with someone. There was definitely some sort of verbal spat between you two, okay? A qualm. For one, I would say that you have a very playful connection with them. Okay, Page of Wands energy. This is fun. This can be very sexy. Okay. Sorry for any background noise. But for some reason, I'm getting pulled to all of the spikes here. This person either currently has or has always had. God, they're putting up like a defense from you. This is someone whom I don't know if you're really in contact with this person. This person might even have you blocked or has had you blocked for a significant amount of time. And there's some curiosities here about unblocking you, or perhaps them unblocking you is already something new. There's a lot of y'all tuning in with different stories, so just keep bearing with me here as I tune in. With the 5 of Swords here, not only was there miscommunication, but there was a lie in, oh, weird. I'm hearing The Hardest Thing by 98 Degrees to my millennials up in here. Someone told you that they didn't love you when they do love you, or they're hiding their love from you. Ooh, the plot thickens. Or this is someone that you are hiding your love with. Or this is some sort of like forbidden love. Like I'm getting Romeo and Juliet right now. Like you have opposing families or like situations that just don't want you to be together. Let's just say it's complicated. I think that someone's feeling very rejected in this particular connection, okay? There's an offer that was made, and it wasn't quite entertained. Comfortable still, because I'm getting drawn to his feet here. There's no socks on. He's chilling under a tree. He's not getting up and going anywhere. But yet, there's like this, I don't know, I've heard slow to communicate. And now I'm seeing like a cable, whatever, that's connected and now disconnecting. Very specifically a cable. So this might have something to do with technology. Again, someone may be getting blocked. I think maybe nose itch on this next statement. Technology might be the only way that you can communicate right now, probably. There might be a distance between you. I just heard California King Bed by Rihanna. And so you could honestly even live with this person or very close to this person, but like it just feels like you're just 10,000 miles apart. And yet there's this like, I will say, we're going to pull some more cards right now. I will say that underlining a lot of this, what's being unspoken between the both of you, okay? Because I'm sensing that this is a lot of your energy here too, pile number 2. You can't hide from me. Welcome to Canine Witchery. There's this underlining regret and remorse because again, the first thing that I heard was, I'm sorry for the things that I have said. There is a regret, a lie that perhaps maybe was the cherry on top of an entire story here that drew you apart from each other. And now we have the 6 of Wands, this card here. Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords. All right, 7 of Swords. I just heard tricky, 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 as well as Queen of Wands. This card also wants to make itself known here, so we'll add that to. Okay, Ace of Swords, lots of swords energy, okay? So I will say that this person is very quick with the wit, okay? Could also like some trickery. With the Fool card here, this is kind of giving me jester energy, okay? But with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords here, it is giving me more of like a playful undertone. So this could be someone that you are very like mentally attracted to, okay? I'm really sensing this here too, especially with the queens here, luring you in. This person really knows their boundaries. You find, I believe that this is your perception of them here, pile number 2, you find that they could have success in almost anything that they do. It's like everything that you touch turns to gold, I just heard. Or they could potentially lack this awareness in themselves, because now I'm getting a second caveat to the other parts of y'all tuning in. So second plot here could be that you're seeing the potential that this person holds, but they're withholding it from themselves because you see someone as, you see this person as someone whom is able to hold their boundaries and really have a mature mindset. You see them perhaps maybe even in sales or something. There's some, this person can really talk the talk. Like you like the way this person thinks, but they're not really allowing themselves to step out of their comfort zone enough to like live up to that potential or like this thing that you see in them, right? So either they are that or it's a potential thereof, okay? Now we're gonna move the heck on. This person is definitely a lot more playful. I'm sensing that with the Queen of Wands, always do, okay? This is a very charismatic, hands dirty type of a queen, very similar to the Queen of Coins, I would say. Like they're not at all shy to be with their people. You know, like that's what I mean by getting their hands dirty. Like they will quote unquote stoop down to a peasant's level, a servant's level, if it means just having a kind heart and carrying their own plate to the kitchen. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's this like humbleness about this person too that I just heard admirable, okay? Like, and yet they also have like this like fire and pizzazz, and like it could be very well with the tongue. They could have a lot of Gemini or Aquarius in their chart, okay? I wonder where they would have it too, because I think it would be pertinent to their overall personality. Like it could be a Mars sign, a Mercury sign, a Moon sign. Those are the ones that I'm sensing here. There's something about Gemini here. And perhaps maybe it could maybe have been their quick wit that had fallen you apart, disconnected you from each other. It could be like I'm really sensing this back and forth. It's like, I honestly think that here's a thing. You guys are like the same freaking person. I would say that there's a lot of compatibility between you. Pile number 2 is what I'm sensing, just because I'm connecting to this person like through your energy, right? Like that's kind of how I'm doing it. I'm just expanding the energies here. And there may have been a recent realization, definitely hidden under the surface, where you're realizing you are each other. This might also mean that there's a lot of like ego plays. Okay, there might be like, okay, dare I say this, like an alpha beta kind of conversation, although that's like not the right word. Point is that when you mirror so much onto another person, they project back onto you your faults, your successes. I don't know, like I'm sensing like your personalities, like you two know each other, I think, better than a lot of people may think. And that's what makes this connection very swift and smooth. It's very intellectually stimulating and connecting, very soulful too, especially with all of this wands energy. We have nothing but wands and swords, and then one resisting cup, one very stubborn cup. You guys could just be really stubborn, okay, like straight up, and yet very intuitively connected. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a very deep soul connection between you. This could even be a friend too, okay, because like, hey, notice how I'm not really mentioning too much about romance. That could very well be the case, but the attraction and the admiration could very well be also on like a friendship level too, okay? Or this is someone that you just respect a lot more on a mental level too, if this is some sort of like a relationship type of connection, all right? So whoever it is that you are thinking about though, like, there is some form of very deep understanding that is also very triggering and very testing of each other. You guys aren't afraid of testing each other's limits and like pushing each other's buttons, because I feel like both of you like what the other has to say. What are you going to say now? You guys keep each other on your toes. It's very playful. It's very, like I said before, it's very gestury. Very Gemini and Aries energy. As an Aries moon myself, Gemini moon people I connect with so fucking deeply. Like, I don't know, some of my favorite people are Gemini moons. Not only, there's other moon signs that I definitely gravitate towards, but there's something about that connection that is, it's mischievous, it's fun, it's witty, it can get you in trouble, it can be a little bit heated, you know, it can be a little bit like I'm gonna test you, but it's also very like aligned, it's very understanding, it's best friendship. I'm sensing that this could have been a best friend that maybe you're feeling disconnected with, or if this is a relationship with, I would definitely say that I would be very surprised if pile number 2, you're actually in contact with your person, although for a very select few of you, that could be the case. But for the majority of y'all tuning in, there is currently no contact. I'm hearing it being cut. I think you guys are both kind of really being stubborn, whilst also knowing that there is something to be said. There is a conversation to be had. I think you both have already figured that out. You're withholding information. There's definitely regrets about a past conversation or something back here, okay? Something was said and nobody was able to take it back. It's too late to apologize. Too late. Okay, so let's continue to quote-unquote expose the situation. I'm going to assume that if you're still here, this is your pile 2. So we're going to use these sacred symbols for divination and meditation. A very long name. My newest deck, I got this very recently, so I'm excited to keep playing with it. But let's just dive into what's really going on with your person. Pile number 2. Tell us about pile number 2, please, Spirit. Okay, so I've said All of these? Yes. Okay, well, interesting. Bottom. Okay, focus. They might have Sagittarius in their chart, or they might be like a Sagittarius, like rising. There's definitely something big about Sagittarius here. Okay, how do I place all these cards? We have courage, knowledge, divinity, time, and shadow. Ooh, my hand kind of wants to tremble, and all of a sudden I'm really cold. This AC has been chilling on. I get it. But now I kind of want to turn it off because now I'm like cold. I don't know. This person might really run really cold, or they've been very still. I'm sensing. I'm also sensing a deep anxiety. So I think what this person doesn't show when it comes to you and your connection here, okay, this might resonate for just a few of you, okay? But there could have been a significant, like years and years amount of time between you that they almost kind of want to forget you so they can move on. And I'm sorry if that's hurtful to say, but it's kind of like you're that shadow that like creeps up every once in a while. And I think that that's also the attunement to the conversation that you're somehow meant to have. But the thing is, though, is you're not, pile number 2, you're not 100% of this person's focus, okay? I am going to sense and call out that I believe that this person is on your mind a lot, especially as of recently. I think there's something going on in your personal life that is tying you back to this particular connection. Perhaps maybe there's something that you can really learn from this person, okay? I think that you are seeing this person as someone who has really put in a lot of time on themselves to resolve something, because this person is incredibly wise, okay? We got to call that. Whether they're aware of it or not, whether this is a potential or if it's their reality and they live it and breathe it every day, because again, based on that identification, it could really go both ways. You feel very connected to this person. This person is very spiritually connected. There's a lot here about connection. And yet, for some reason here, Soul Fam, for a lot of you tuning in, they might have been doing everything possible to shift their focus from you. Maybe something that had been said between you two, I think that maybe I might be underestimating the intensity of like one of the last conversations that you guys had. Because their focus it's changed. Courage, knowledge, divinity. This person really dove into themselves. I think that's exactly what they're doing. They're increasing their knowledge. Perhaps maybe they're in school right now. I will say that courage and knowledge and divinity coming up here, this is giving me a lot of self-discovery. This is giving me an incredible healing. Like this person probably had a breakthrough as of recently or is about to have one. This is feeling very quantum. They could very well have completely changed. Depending how much time has passed between you, pile number 2, this person might be someone completely different than you even think they are. And yet there is still something like a red string of fate that somehow connects you two, because I will say that as much as they would like to move on from you, in some degrees, I'm sorry to say that so bluntly to a lot of y'all tuning in, that doesn't have to resonate with everyone, although that is a very predominant energy, okay? This person, it's like thoughts of you are overwhelming, you know? And they're going, well, like nothing's changing. This was said. There's no coming back from that. Or perhaps maybe what is required to come back from that seems like something that's just not going to happen. Pile number 2, they may be looking at you to make an offer worth accepting. I just heard. So, okay. let me rephrase that slightly, because some of y'all just went, excuse me, what? You're the one that has to apologize. Okay, so take this part as it resonates with you, okay? Pile number 2, whoever is the one that initiated, if not is the most responsible, which again might be a little bit of like that ego death, or not death, play between you. I don't know. Anyways, let's stay on track before I digress. Whoever initiated this last conversation that was very spiteful, very witty, but also very like cutthroat, it was the end of this relationship and connection. Okay, something happened there. That is the person that has to offer the other something worth them receiving. A simple hello, or a sharing of like a meme, or I don't know, like overly casual conversations. Like there's testing the waters, right? And then there's like an actual conversation, or like an offer of peace of something. I don't know. I think that could range between all of y'all. I'm not going to sit here and give you ideas, because that's something, you know, this person knows you. That much is definitely sure. What would you want to receive in this situation? Show up like that. If you two are so incredibly mirrored, then yeah. But like I said, immense stubbornness here. And so I think that maybe a lot of time has passed, okay? So much so that I think this connection was like really put to the back. Whether this is also maybe like a bit of a past energy, and now you guys are like starting to come back together slowly, you know, because I am feeling a little bit more of that like playful Gemini Aries energy again here. But for the lot of y'all tuning in, I think a lot of time has passed between you that you're both kind of learning how to live without each other. And that's feeling really heavy and like disappointing. It actually gives me like that heavy chest, like heartbreak kind of a feeling. And the shadow energy is kind of giving me Plutonian energy. It's giving me like transformation energy. It's giving me unconscious energy, right? Like our shadow self lives in our unconscious mind. And our unconscious mind can sometimes be depicted as something more frightening and scary, because it does hold such things, not only. But I just heard without a shadow of a doubt. I don't know what that means or how it relates to you guys specifically, but there is this escapism quality that I am sensing being mirrored between you. I think that, like, personally speaking, as a completely third-party biased person sitting over here, I would say that unless either of y'all are able to get off of your ego high horse and have a conversation, whichever way that's supposed to resonate, okay? I think you're both kind of moving away from each other, and it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, there's something about this connection that is, again, prove me wrong by simply removing the ego and making an offer worthwhile. But unless that happens, I think that's the caveat here. Unless that happens, this person and yourself are just going to be focusing elsewhere. I'm really getting pulled to the fact that this arrow is moving completely away from this whole conversation. Their focus and shifts are changing here. There's other priorities here. Courage, knowledge, divinity, they could very well be strengthening their third eye right now. They might actually even know something about time, or even like of the future too. And so they ain't even worried about this connection right now. But the condition still stands. There's something about a condition, right? We've got two queens here. You have to make an offer worthwhile. I'm sorry, we have also the high priestess. This could be a feminine that you're tuning into, okay? That you're reading for pile number 2. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case, of course. I'm getting pulled. I need to pull more, because y'all are something. I'm not sure what that something is just yet. Which deck shall we use? Interesting. I'm getting pulled to another oracle deck. Okay. It's the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck. Very powerful deck. I like it. Very fancy, I would say. All right. Let's shuffle on in. Your pile number 2. Let's expose their person, what's really going on in this connection. What does pile number 2 need to know? I just heard stop. Okay, so we're gonna grab whatever this is. We have union. You guys could believe in twin flames, you could not. I'm just gonna throw that out there anyways. And we're gonna keep it moving. So, we have union. Perhaps we'd be honestly, interesting. The plot thickens. This person might honestly be under the impression, or like just might have some like precognition about this, that you will end up together regardless. I think whether, interesting, whether it's in this life or another lifetime. Because this person's like very esoteric, very outside of just like this life. This person may be a medium. Okay, they may in fact be so deep into their spirituality that in hindsight, they can, well, really reveal a lot about themselves and about you. Perhaps maybe that's why your connection is so intense here, pile number 2, because this person is so like, I just heard it's electrifying. Like there's like this like very intensifying spark between y'all two. And I think this person holds like a secret about this connection. And I just heard, I forgot who sings it, but it's a song called Another Lifetime. Guess I'll wait another lifetime. It's the premise that like, well, things aren't really working out for us here, but who's to say we won't meet again another lifetime, and in that lifetime I won't hold any resistances, you know? This is definitely me not quoting the lyrics, okay? But it's a good song to dive into. We also have magic. So this just strengthens the messages here that this person is very in tune, okay? Very esoteric, very focused into themselves. I think they're increasing their connection to themselves, to knowledge, to divinity, to perhaps even their shadow. They could be really going into the past, into the future. The fact that time is here, you know, here's the thing, right? So, you know how I mentioned multiple times, quite bluntly, that this person's not really thinking about you, is I'm honestly thinking that it could very well be that this person is just so into spirituality that they're detached, but like healthy detachment. You know, like whatever will be mine, and yet the conditions still stand. There is definitely an apology that is still really required here. Between this connection, whether it's them offering it to you or you to them. If I was to kind of throw something out there, I will say that there's a lot that has to come from you here, pile number 2. I think you're tuning in to this quite curious about someone. I will point this out here. No, there is no spell that is cast on you, okay? If we're going to be really cliche like that, then we also have to expand on the very simple fact that one of the general rules, even in cartoons and like Aladdin, is you can't make someone fall in love with you. Okay, you also can't bring people back from the dead. Very ill-advised. This person seems to have like this alignment and attunement that you are definitely connected with in some regard, okay? But I just think that this person is just really kind of focused inward, focused on their mission, I just heard. What else do we have here? We have beyond. Yeah, I did mention they might very well be a medium. Yep. There's honestly nothing else I'm getting from that. I think your person, we have a wizard here. I mean, can I say that they're incredibly intuitive or what? What else do we have? We have bliss. This person's really working on their happiness. They're looking to better themselves, okay? I think they're looking to better themselves with the intention of getting better for themselves, okay? I think that look, bluntly put, whether this is something that you may want to hear, I'm just a girl on YouTube, okay? Don't take shit so seriously at the end of the day here, pile number 2. If this does trigger you, because I'm not a, I don't know, carnival reader that will just give you what it is that you want to hear. I just genuinely think that this person is not very focused on you right now, okay? They're focused on themselves. They're focused on bettering themselves. And I'm feeling a very nonchalant energy here when it comes to your particular connection. This person just has no worries about anything. They're focused on themselves. They're focused on their mission here. Again, I state that. They could be really discovering their purpose here and putting a lot of effort on that. Their focus is elsewhere. And I mean, it's not really giving you much of maybe like what they're focusing on, okay? But to answer the question of this overall pick a card for you here, pile number 2, what they've got going on is some esoteric shit. You know, I think they're just on like a really intense spiritual journey. I think they might be a teacher themselves. And I think whatever it is that had occurred with y'all in this connection currently is meant to just be that way for now. I don't think either one of y'all are meant to do anything. But before I talk too much, let's pull some advice cards, okay? Because that is definitely a component of this reading. I'm going to use the Animal Apothecary deck here. Shout out to my girl Monica who gifted me with it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Some advice for pile number 2. What does pile 2 need to know? What's their best advice for this connection here? There's a lot of resistance, okay? Metamorphosis, yeah. I'm going to keep pulling before I talk. Inner truth. Small steps, big accomplishments. I did hear one more. Oh, and it's this one. Keep trying. Okay. I also have this card here, Evolve into Your Complexity, come out. Hopefully you guys can see enough of these cards. But for one, I think that it would be very safe, very healthy even, for you to adopt some of the mindsets that we were speaking about. There could also be a lot of smoking involved too, okay? Like there's another reason why we're drawn to the cannabis deck, okay? So maybe you just gotta like kick back, smoke up a little bit, some good green, you know, and just get spiritual with it, get deep with it, see what lies within, okay? With inner truth and metamorphosis here, this could honestly be welcoming a inspiration towards personal transformation here as well, okay? This could be another way that you guys are really connected, right? Perhaps maybe it's mirror too. Maybe you're not really focused on this person that much either. You're focusing on your own thing, you know? And I think that's honestly the best advice right now. Whether or not there will be a recollection. That's really interesting. Maybe someone forgot something. Maybe something that was spoken between y'all was said like when you were really drunk or like not really, I don't know, conscious to some degrees. That will only resonate with a few of you. But I think some of y'all had some really drunken, bad things that were said. And by bad, I just mean very mean. Yeah, someone's feelings got hurt there. Anyways, I think that both of you take what each other says and thinks about each other very seriously, very personally. I think you both look at each other at a very mature light, by the way. So, I mean, outside of what was said in like this instance or something, I'm not really understanding much of the disconnection. I think that the best friend energy is still quite strong and prevalent between y'all, but I think a lot of time has passed right now, or the disconnect was required, okay? Like someone kind of like broke that connection for a reason. The cord was cut and there's expectations in place right now. And I think that the best way around this ego battle is to let go of that ego, you know, to kill the ego. And by kill the ego, I don't mean rid it entirely, because the ego is here to protect us, okay? There's probably a reason why both, or if not one of you, pushed each other away from each other, and why there is like some sort of like a gap and like things that are left unsaid, even though there's such a spiritual connection here. Telepathically, you guys talk to each other. Guaranteed. You guys probably like dream about each other or something once in a while. There's a lot kept in secret here. And a lot of it, I truly believe when it comes to this particular connection here, pile number 2, the separation is really required to get you back to your center, to yourself. A lot of our connections, whether this was platonic or romantic, a lot of the connections in our lives reflect something within ourselves, okay? It brings us back to ourselves. We get to practice communication, connection, vulnerability, honesty, loyalty. I think that this connection here is required for you to deepen the transformation within yourselves. Whatever ending took place, open up a lot of doors. And the thing is, you are to keep on trying. There seems to be for you, like this is advice for you, these cards here, okay? You might have really given up on yourself in this connection. I don't know why I'm seeing 2 pedestals here. One or both of you might be seeing each other on quite a high pedestal, okay? Hi, let's just remember we're all human, okay? So maybe lessen the perfectionism that you are holding within yourself too, and understand that even the small steps equal really big accomplishments. Like, these turtles could literally swim all around the world if they wanted to. You know, different oceans, of course, permitting. But the point is to keep on trying for yourselves. And like, even though there is a lot of disconnection and like, you know, you guys are going separate ways, because I'm again really feeling that, especially with that Sagittarian energy. It's very like wanderlust. It's very like escapism kind of energy. Speaking as a Sagittarius rising, like, yup. Oh boy. And that also includes like into books and things like that too, right? It doesn't always have to mean like travel or like physically moving around the world, although that could be the case. Like I said, there could be a lot of like physical distance between y'all. There's something about like miles and miles apart, whether that is a metaphor or literal. Either way, it's meant to have you both dive into the complexity that is yourselves. I think that this connection is currently, for the most of y'all, in separation because it's so intense, because you mirror so much back onto each other that like you kind of like forced each other into your own transformation. But I think in hindsight, behind everything, after everything is said and done, I think you guys both have a lot of love and respect for each other. There's still a lot of really good memories here. And also some really tough ones, because again, there's y'all all egotistical up in here, you too, okay? And that's just part of the human. There is no right or wrong here. I'm going to put that out there too. But there is definitely a lot of hurt. So I think you both are just required to process a lot of the shadows between yourselves by yourselves. And who knows? I heard the song Another Lifetime again. I don't know, guys, if this is something that is going to rekindle in this lifetime or another. That will definitely depend on your own journeys here, but that is it for this reading. I did hear my snaps. For those of y'all who do not know, that indicates, well, it's Spirit's way of indicating that the messages are done and delivered. So I hope that this offered you some of the clarity that hopefully you were seeking, and it answered that. Definitely. If you're still here, please let me know with a comment down below. I love hearing from you. I really do. Algorithms really be algorithming lately, so any sort of connection and engagement means so much to me, and it helps me out a lot. So thank you so much for being here. If you'd want something more precise and concise for you specifically, I do have readings and availability open, always on my chart, or not my chart, my website, but you can look at my calendar from there and book yourselves in. KNMWitchery.com is the only place you could do that. And yeah, that's it for me. There's no extended this round, so if I don't see you in another pile, I do hope to see you in another video. Thanks so much for tuning in again, pile number 2. Peace. Hello, so what it's do? Welcome to your reading, pile number 3. Y'all chose the Fountain Tarot, and someone just started mowing in the distance. Beautiful. This was my very first deck. So yeah, it holds true. Close to my heart there. Interesting choice for you. I love it. Pile number 3, you could very well be having like a fresh start or something. I'm kind of getting that in for you, but let's further identify whether or not this is your person, your pile, by identifying who this person is for you. All right. My nose is starting to itch. Strength, 2 of Swords, 6 of Coins. I'm hearing 2 more. Boom and boom. Interesting. Well, I will start off by saying this. You view this person with a great deal of admiration and respect and like wonder. There could be quite a distance between you. That really came through when like Spirit just had me keep like twirling this World card, or there seems to have been like a fresh start after a fresh start. I'm hearing time and time again, this could potentially be like an on and off connection. I'm also wary to say relationship, okay, because it could be very platonic. I don't know. I don't really want to say that this is someone completely brand new, but likely, if you've known them in the past, this person, pile number 3, has since changed and thus has perceivingly become new. It's like you kind of have to get to know this person all over again. You know, there seems to have been a lot of like disconnect for there to be a reconnection of sorts. This could be something, again, starting up anew, or just someone that you're perhaps maybe curious about because you're in the quote unquote off thing, right? There is a deeper sense of physical separation between y'all, okay? Even if you're in the same cities, there's definitely, you don't run into the same, you know, people or anything. Like, you have completely different lives. There is definitely a distance and a separation between y'all. Now, I am curious here about the 2 of Swords, because that was the very first card that came out. So this is a person that perhaps maybe, I don't know, this is really giving me like split, almost like Gemini energy. You're seeing, let's pull some more cards before, you know, because like I'm seeing that there's like a duality here in this connection. There isn't full clarity about this person. None of you, because this could be a mirror effect, but one or both of you, let's keep it like that, might be hesitant on how to approach the other. We have the 10 of Swords with the King of Swords coming out here, okay? This card is ruined. It's scratched up and bent. That's a little unfortunate. I didn't just notice that until now. Well, it is what it is. Sorry, friends. Yeah, so I will say that this is definitely someone that you might very well have witnessed grow and level up intellectually, really grow into themselves knowingly. I don't know, perhaps maybe this could be talking about like awareness. If we're talking about something spiritual, right? There is a heightening of conscious awareness of themselves, of their lives. This could very well mean like an intellectual upgrade of sorts, where perhaps maybe this could be educational bound, right? It could just very well be, I'm sensing more of like a healing process, like someone moving from days and years, decades of like depressions and anxieties to becoming more emotionally stable and have a lot more clarity, be more concise in such categories. Because of that, there seems to be like a pretty big growth here. And or this could very well be, I don't know. Okay, hold on, because I wanted to split off and say something different, and Spirit was like, no. You, pile number 3, this person to you, you have witnessed a glow up. You have witnessed them overcome something in a way that like, I did just hear I told you so. So maybe you've always kind of seen it in them, you know, or it's because of pile number 3 that you yourself, pile number 3, were able to somehow heal and overcome and become more, I don't know, there's something about intellect and like power here, but not power hungry, like we're about to like, you know, take over the world, but rather conscious awareness and belief in oneself. There's something about a book here as well. I don't know what that's about. Perhaps your person is debating about writing a book. That just came through. With the Strength card here, as well as the Queen of Coins, this person, in some ways, I'm just going to put this out there, right? You look at this person as like an inspiration and a motivation of sorts. There is some form of like leadership, if you will, that this person has the ability to offer you. Regardless this is a male or female, by the way. It's like there's something that you see within them that makes you want to follow. That is different from the past. Okay, the 6 of Coins, it's like what goes around comes back around, but now the favors are in your court. That's not how this phrase goes, but you hopefully understand what I'm saying here, pile 3. What once was insufficient, perhaps, maybe, right? Or there was a lot of like self-doubts or insecurities. This transition and transformation, perhaps maybe a rekindling, an opportunity to strengthen a connection and find more grounding. And again, something about inspiration and leadership. There's something here that perhaps maybe no longer has you split about this person. Interesting. Collectively, I'm hearing this in a multitude of ways. This could be a soon-to-be type of energy. If it's not like 100% resonating with you, which I mean, I don't expect any reading to, but let's call it like up there, right? Then you could consider this an incoming plausibility and connection or something with someone that you now have the opportunity to reconnect, likely based on their growth. Whatever that really means, okay? Whether this is professional, whether this is based around like healing or some form of a leadership, this person is sparking up back into your life. And you may be wondering like what's really going on with them because there's something about maybe intentions. You're not really sure about this person's intentions. I just heard too good to be true. So you might honestly need a little bit of like a reality check about this person, you know, because you might have them a little bit more on like a pedestal, or perhaps maybe you're expecting something from them. Like you don't really know who this person is, and you're like, something's a little bit too good to be true here. Like you gotta be some form of like a scam, right? Like there's like, what's the caveat here? I once knew you like this and now you're like this. And it's like, you know, the 2 of Swords being that initial card here is really speaking volumes to me, because it seems like you could be very split about this person, or you see both sides of this person, and or you've seen the growth from one version of themselves into another. Let's pull some more cards. I heard bingo, by the way. Yeah, and here's a clarifier on that. Studiously. Interesting. So I will say that this person really, at least from your perspective, you've maybe witnessed this person grow or like glow up, I'm hearing. I just heard it's been 84 years. So it could have been literally a long time. Would I say it was like 84 years? No, but someone might make a witty joke like that between you two. Do I feel any animosity or anything in this connection? Honestly, no. If you're trying to look up pile number 3, someone that like you really dislike, or, you know, I don't know, trying to get some like dirt on somebody, or I don't know why I'm going down that road, but like this isn't it. And maybe this speaks on a lot of like the intentions here too. Interesting, the plot is thickening. Perhaps maybe once upon a time, you would assume or even expect this person to kind of be a little bit more catty, I'm hearing, okay? Really want to, I don't know, maybe bring you down, okay? When people are really hurt, we're just gonna leave it like this. when people are really hurt and they're operating out of an unhealed space, whether this be emotionally and or intellectually, whatever is going on, they tend to project and actually go out of their way to hurt people, to bring them down, okay? Because this Tower card here is quite loud. But with the Fool card coming in here as well, it kind of brings me back to this over and over thing. This is definitely an on and off connection, like I said. Could be friends, could be a relationship. Either way, there's uncertainty here. This is probably a lot of the reason why maybe I'm unsure if this is a romantic or platonic connection, because there seems to be a lot of wariness. Where this wariness is coming from, I truly believe it might be you, pile number 3, okay? You may have been really hurt in the past, and if this is like a brand new person, it's not going to be for most of you. I think a lot of you know who this person is that's coming back around brand new, but isn't a new person, like you just met them for the very first time ever in this lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, you could have just been really hurt in the past, whether with this person or otherwise, that now them coming back around more healed, more willing to, let's say, even take things slow or like rebuild something. A lot of people hate the Tower card. I love the Tower card, especially the way it is depicted in this deck. The simple way that what is burning away has overcrowded, perhaps maybe, and now just no longer belongs, in order for there to be balance again. It's like we're restoring, we're starting fresh, we're going to build anew, you know. That's not to say that like either one of you are willing to like forgive and like forget, you know. I think that this is something that would probably have to take a while within your connection. But you are likely curious today about a person's intentions, whether or not this will be someone that will add to your life or perhaps maybe take away. And I just heard again, so it's like, how many times are we going to start this over? I don't know. This is very confusing energy, but also quite simple if you think about it. I don't know. I will say that right now, reading this person's energy presently from the day that you guys are tuning in, for the most part, this person really is on their shit, okay? They could be going through something, like if this Tower card isn't necessarily an energy between you two, okay? Because I'm, again, collective reading for a bunch of y'all. It could be that maybe some aspect of their life right now is crumbling and they are actively working to like rebalance it. I would say that this person is, at least seemingly from your perspective here, pile number 3, more like fearless, like ready to just like jump into something that like, regardless if it might crumble or not. Like the Knight of Coins here, this is Capricorn energy. You could also associate this with Taurus or Virgo. Okay, so lots of earth energies here, especially with that Queen of Coins. This person's really just willing to continue on developing and getting better and better and better, especially we're going from the King of Swords down to the Ace of Swords here. The ball of growth, for lack of better terms here, never stops for this person, pile number 3. So I think that like trying to even sit here and simplify and grasp this person's mentality and psyche and things like that might in itself be a little bit of a challenge, because things are like constantly growing and developing with this person and they're grounding themselves into like a new thing. Maybe they also travel like a lot. But either way, I am definitely not disregarding a lot of these energies here. So, let's quote unquote expose them a little bit further, shall we? We're going to use the Sacred Symbols for Divination and Meditation deck. It is a brand new deck here, so I'm excited to keep on diving into them. They've been pretty good in the other piles so far, I would say. And then any other deck, if it'll speak out to me. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. I just work here. Let's see. Okay. So let's expose pile 3's person. What does pile 3 need to know about their person? What's going on in their lives? What do we need to know? Let's expose whatever it is pile 3 requires to know. We have water. Something about Hillary Duff. Oh my god. What's that song? Let it wash away. my sanity, because I want to feel the thunder. I want to scream. I'm coming clean. Something like that. Oh, does anyone know that song? It's like it's in my head. We have guides too. More water symbols. Very interesting. This person could be a water sign, but if this is something that we're exposing them for, trust. Ooh. Ooh. We're going to pull one more. I was pulled to this one. Earth. Interesting. We're going to pull that, and now we're just going to... Okay, I have no idea what lies behind this card, but I was asking, what does pile number 3 think about you? Like, what does this person think about you, pile number 3? And we have nature spirits. Very interesting. So their connection to you, nature spirits, we have earth, we have water, we have guides, we have trust. Wow. Well, I will say this. This person is deep in their own psyche right now. So I will say that pile 3, you're really picking up their energy more accurately. You just may not really fully comprehend it because, and this isn't at all to put in like layers or like, I don't know, competition in this, but this person just might have gone much deeper into themselves than you perhaps have, which could talk about the curiosities and wanting to get to know with this person, perhaps even work with this person, why they're so inspiring to you, and like you seem to sense they overcome things so much because they're going in deep. Earth sign is affiliated with the physical body, with this physical reality. Water is the intuition, right? It's our emotions also, because intuition lies with the unconscious mind, which the trust factor here definitely speaks to me. Like if you were to ask me what the unconscious mind looks like, I would probably paint you something like this. Like, wow. And so with guides here too, I will say this, with nature guides, there might very well be a belief from this person that you two are somehow like meant to be, whether this is like kindred spirits, or like your soulmates, whether again, platonic or otherwise. Again, I'm not really sensing too deep of like either or, so you're going to have to just equate this for yourselves here, pal 3. But with nature spirits and their relationship to you, it could very well be that they even think about you a lot when they're out in nature, or again, they're just really grounded in, it's so interesting because I just heard like, interesting. I'm just going to say it. For some of y'all, this connection might be almost like telepathic, that like if you whisper something to the moon, this person will be able to kind of like pick it up. It's a very interesting form of telepathy through nature, if that makes sense. It's like when either one of you are like in nature, especially if it's like simultaneous, no matter the distance or anything, right? Let's say in particular around a body of water or something, and you're looking out into the horizon, you know, like beautiful views, and you think of either one of each other, that person would be able to sense it. But nature has a big factor to do with it for some reason in your connection. But anyways, so on top of that, I think that they're also spending a lot more time in nature. At least that is the way that you're also perceiving them here too. I will say that they're very hidden within themselves. This is giving me really a lot of hermiting energy, especially with earth. They're very grounded in their body, so you're definitely picking that up about them quite accurately, pile 3. But it seems like this isn't really telling you more than what you already know. I'm going to tell you this. It's like, look, this person just might really require a lot of privacy right now. As much as this is a reading about like quote unquote exposing people, I think that this is all that really requires to be exposed about this person, because they're just working on their own stuff, you know, like the 10 of Swords is very heavy stress and worry on one's shoulder, you know, and they're finding a lot of clarity in that. Perhaps they're literally hitting the books and diving into something, how to fix something, right? Like they're very much focused on healing and on becoming better. But with nature spirits here and the way that they view you, I just really do feel that they're acknowledging that there is some form of connection between the two of you. And they definitely cannot doubt it. I dropped a few cards down below, but I'm not really prompted to pick them up. So let's pull from a different deck, shall we? Because I don't know which way should we go with this. You know what? Okay, we're going to go a multitude of different ways here. We're going to pull a couple of cards from the Modern Nirvana Oracle to dive into what exactly it is that they are diving into, okay? We'll at least get a sneak peek here, because I think that this is very personal. I think they're definitely developing into something. I think they're diving into their own psyche, their own healing, their own guides, their own ancestry. Perhaps maybe it's Akashic Records here. I just heard astrology. They're uncovering something unconsciously within themselves in this human experience, okay? And yeah, so I just heard, okay, your curiosity about them, whether or not like their intention is fine, might just very well be because they tend to like disappear, or like you just don't really get a lot of attention from this person. Again, this could just be a great distance between y'all, or like disconnection, or maybe you're just currently in like no contact or something for a very few of you. I don't know. But there's definitely a reason why you're here tuning in, because there's a lot of curiosity. But I will say that very similar kind of to like pile 1, I believe. So I don't know if you might resonate with that pile. But it's just, they're kind of going through their own thing. There's definitely a lot of differences between you guys and pile 1. But what they're diving into is their gratitude, okay? So yeah, this person is really, I don't even want to necessarily say high vibe, just because they're dressed in all black and they're beaming out this rainbow. They're wearing their shadows on their sleeves. They're finding love and balance and happiness within their shadow. They're finding trust in the shadow. Like, look at that. So yeah, this person's really kind of looking at the parts of their lives that are perhaps maybe like crumbling, and bringing some order into it, some stability, taking very slow steps and advancements, likely on a very intellectual level. They're building up their awareness. They're like, great, I've met this level and accomplished this in my life, and now it's time to start something brand new and learn something new. And I think it's ultimately that this person's just chasing their own happiness and their love for themselves from themselves. This could be very well self-love oriented, okay? But I think that whatever it is that they're working on too is kind of in a way for the betterment of like society. I'm really getting pulled out to like the rainbow, right? Like all of the different colors of the rainbow of the world and everything just like beaming from her. Unconditional love is what I'm getting from here. So yeah, when they go silent on you, they're not ignoring you. They're literally like working on themselves. Like I think that's maybe what could be a little bit quote unquote too good to be true about this person, that you're just like, no one could be working on themselves that much. Like no one could just, but there are people like that exist. I will put my hands up first and be like, I'm one of them. I'm constantly evolving and like seeing what else I can do and better. It's a good, great use of my time, and working also on being very grounded in self-acceptance presently is also something that this person is balancing as well. Because it's not always about like something always needing constantly work or anything. It's also about being very grounded and in the moment. And perhaps maybe that's why water and earth and nature spirits, and there's a lot of this like water-esque, nature-esque energy here, is because this person's really working on presence and gratitude. And really, ultimately, you can experience gratitude when you're present. That's the key to gratitude, is its presence. And sometimes it makes this person break down, and so they kind of go through their own waves of stuff that they just keep jumping into and working on over and over again. I mean, this is what, yeah, that's what they do. Let's pull maybe one more. I did hear no. All right, well, I guess we got our answers there. I will say that pile number 3, your person's very highly spiritually protected, okay, and thus very respected. So me, myself, even as a practitioner, and even it being like a YouTube video, I don't make videos just for like entertainment purposes necessarily. I believe that there's messages that could be portrayed through true channeling and respect and all of that. So again, I'm hoping that like this reading is helpful and resonates with y'all in some form or fashion. But I will continue to respect this person's healing process and, you know, whatever it is that they're working on. Like there's, because it doesn't have much to do with you, pile number 3. And you could be maybe offended to that, maybe not. But I do hope that it does at least answer the question about their intention, because their intentions, I would say, are more pure. They are healthy. They are grounded. They're just working through a bunch of shit. So yeah, I don't know. I get there's that's kind of what I'm getting here. Let's pull some like advice cards or something, okay? We have Animal Apothecary that I'm going to be using for advice cards, and who knows, maybe we'll pull for some more energies and pieces of advice for you specifically, pile 3, because when it comes to your person, pile 3, I don't know. I just don't want to keep repeating myself for the next like 15 minutes here for y'all. So we have service, okay? Advice is service. I believe that also came out in pile 1. So did this. And I'm pretty sure it came out in reverse like this too. Fascinating. Oh, and I have shuffled since. No fucking way. Okay. This is tripping me out. I'm gonna reshuffle. But it might be worth maybe peeking into pile 1 or even pile 2, just any other pile, just for bonus content about this person. Will you resonate 1000% with everything going on there? Maybe not, but like it's worth diving into at least pile 1, because I keep hearing pile 1 right now on repeat. So if that resonates with the few of you that it resonated with, be sure to have you saw that, right? Okay, so service is coming out again. I swear if those other cards come out, I just heard no to these ones. Okay. All right, we have no expectations and surrender to receive. I heard that's it for now, but I am pulled to the bottom of this deck here. So you are what you think. We have service, no expectations, and surrender to receive. Notice the rainbow here, okay? Well, and there too. So let's call this connection what it is. Whoever it is that this person is, whether it is someone of love interest, or a platonic connection, or perhaps maybe like a coach or a leader, someone of sorts, okay, that are very humanized in the experience. This, by the way, if I do say so myself, if this is about like mentorship or like a teacher or a mentor, especially on a spiritual realm, or like even a therapist, like make sure that the people that you're going to see about like personal healing are also doing their own personal healing, okay? Like me, myself as a practitioner, I would never offer you advice and feedback and, you know, solutions to something that I personally hadn't at least tried. I lead by example, and I think that's pertinent here. So I will say that whoever pile 3 is, or whoever your person is to you, pile 3, I'm going to say that you can really trust in their guidance, at least from this general YouTube reading, but I've got zero bad juju from this person, like at all. This heartache and stuff, like, yeah, it could be something from the past. That much I will admit. So like, you know, whatever, but I think as of right now, it's a very easy breeze. Like I'm just very calm reading this energy here too, right? So perhaps maybe this person is awakening you to your potential, okay, and your purpose. Especially with the service here, we have the World on here twice. You could just be very called right now to work with this person, or this person's kind of like, I just keep waking up. Like waking up is like a present here. Waking up. This person's changing your perspective on yourself. You are what you think. The flamingo here with the service. Take this person's advice. I don't know why that's coming through so heavily, but nevertheless, if this person's inspiring you, perhaps maybe continue to use your discernment. Okay, don't just like blindly trust in someone. But if there's anything that I hope that you take from this reading is that you can give your trust, okay? So long as you're still feeling like you're getting something out of that, like meaning that there is something reciprocated from it, like even if it's blind trust, because I'm hearing like if you're not in connection with this person at all, like you do not speak to this person at all, but they're posting something online, that could be calling you to step forward and do something, even if it has nothing to do with this particular person that you're curious about, but like for the world or for the betterment of like your family or like to help out a friend. Like there's some form of like advice or something maybe that like this person has like heightened up a bit of like strength within you. Or if they do post something on social media, because I'm really getting pulled to the world card here, right? Like the World Wide Web. Whatever advice that they're putting out there, you kind of adopt it as your own too, right? I'm not calling you a copycat. I'm saying that inspiration works in really beautiful ways. I don't know. So what I'm hearing as advice for you, Pal 3, is to use it. You know, you may be curious about it, in which case I don't know, I'm curious just as a reader why you can't just reach out to this person, but maybe you're overall distrusting, because that could just simply be that. But then I would say, hey, maybe push yourself out of that comfort zone, okay? Because especially with no expectations out here and like a key and like a jaguar and like, I love jags, I got a jag tattoo. But like, it could very well be that you yourself are generally very locked up and you have quite a barrier up and not too many people get to really like see you, or you simply don't let people into your depths. And yet there's something about this person, because like they do this fluently and frequently, right? Like they're constantly surrendering into different aspects of their unconscious mind. And like that is that is an eternal process. Our unconscious mind harbors absolutely everything, not only from this lifetime. If you believe in like generational things that were passed on and like ancestors, perhaps even like spiritual lifetimes, like, oh, the way that our unconscious mind picks up on the most minute changes in energy and atmosphere, but what we're consciously aware of takes work. It takes integration with our various human aspects, such as deep emotions, such as being really grounded. This person's working through that. And so this could very well be someone that spirit is definitely telling you, like, you can trust this person, you know, surrender to receive. Like, this is someone that if this connection is platonic or romantic, it's worth opening up and having a conversation about. Let's just say that. I think that both of you would be very open to receiving each other. If this is like a mentor or someone that you just simply look up to, that you're like having a nice, like a start or something, I don't know. It could even be, I have this instance where one of my clients it was like a friend of mine from like 15 years ago. We basically like witnessed each other grow up, and now I'm their guide. Like I don't really like labels, so I don't really know what to call myself for her, but I'm definitely someone that helps her thrive. And so there was like an interesting shift of like, I don't even want to say authority, because there's like, you know, friendship both ways, but there's a lot of deep trust. Like I offer her guidance. I'm really getting pulled here to the 2, and then the 2 here, right? So that might be something for y'all. Just know that whoever this person is, their intentions are very good because they're good for themselves. They're constantly working on themselves. And if you are pulled to work with them, to take some advice from them, to reach out to them, to have a conversation with them, and you're worried about it, like you're scared to surrender something, there's definitely some like fear and shit there too, right? It's not just very easy to just give yourself and like surrender, which is why I'm going to repeat again, like use your judgment and use your discernment, okay? Don't just like give yourself foolishly and like, you know, ever so willingly. And yet surrender yourself to the greatest of capabilities while you are still feeling good about it, okay? I think POW 3 is something that a lot of you require to hear at this time, is that not everybody in this world will hurt you. You know, there's actually something that I had threaded the other day. And I'm not speaking this verbatim, but you know, the man versus bear argument right now. Like if you were alone in a forest, would you choose to be alone with a man or a bear? And women, based on personal experiences, now I'm not going to, open up that can of worms, but most are choosing bears. And as a woman, I admit I would choose the bear too. And yet, and this is the part that I had wrote out on Threads, was that it's important for us to also remember that very kind and healing and emotionally intellectual men also exist. Like two truths can exist at once. And why I'm bringing this up is because there could be some way that you have been so conditioned, so programmed based on personal experiences, based on society, based on who knows, a bunch of different reasons and whatever, right? To distrust. And yet not everybody is that. A really great example again is being a psychic. Me saying I'm a psychic medium, so many people say you're a fraud, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what to say to that. I know I'm not, and my clients know I'm not. But the thing is, though, is there's no belief. There's no trust. There's no trial. It's just nothing but judgments. And to some extent, they are accurate for it, because many people do take advantage of other people and give them tarot readings and call themselves this and that. Yes, there are scammers, and yet not everybody is a scammer. So I can go on and on about different types of examples here, but whatever and whoever, especially if this is about love, okay, not everyone is going to want to break your heart. Perhaps maybe Pile 3, you've been really needing someone who has done a lot of that, healing and emotional clearing and mental maturing, okay? And they've done their therapy, they've done their self-awareness enough that no one's perfect, by the way, which is why I'm saying humble this person. They are still human too. And I hope that that's something that you have received loud and clear in this reading. Every single time that they improve something, they're ready to start again. There's the human experience always has these tower moments, these 10 of swords. Someone is always working through something, okay? No one's really perfect. And yet the ability to constantly keep showing up and working through it day in and day out, that shows admirable strength. And so these are the type of people that are worth connecting to, I would say. Perhaps maybe I'm biased because, shoot, I relate to the person that you're channeling for. I feel like I kind of just read my own cards, I'm not gonna lie. As the person that you're channeling for. So it would be kind of funny if any one of you are really curious about me and this is the pile that you chose. I exposed myself to y'all. I don't know. Interesting how that would be, though. Any hoosers, because it's not about me, let me just stop talking. We're going to end this reading, Soul Fam. I think there's nothing else to say. Okay, give into trust, give into surrender. Understand that although someone may seem too good to be true, it is because you're likely painting them as such, okay? But that doesn't mean that they are bad or going to hurt you, okay? Do let me know, Soul Fam, Pile 3, did this reading resonate? Did it help you? Did it, quote, unquote, expose this person's energy enough to you? It's definitely not at all something that I had expected, but it's what y'all got. So yeah, like I said, let me know, comment, definitely subscribe. And if I don't see you in another pile, which again, I recommend you go see another pile, I do hope to see you in another video. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today, Pile 3. Peace. Hey, what's up? What it do? Pile number 4, y'all chose the Muse Tarot. So I I'm gonna just dive on in. Okay, sorry. This is a really ridiculous introduction, but hey, something different is coming through for you, pal number 4, okay? I sat down and pretty much had done a reading per day, and the vibes before your reading make me feel as though, Soul Fam, this entire reading and pick a card was, in fact, for you. I know, right? And before I even start pulling, okay, there seems to be, dare I say, kind of a darker energy around you. I believe you may be around somebody, an individual, who you believe is now perhaps maybe going down a quote unquote darker path. Like they're not like themselves. I just hear it's like someone took over you. Now this can be in, let's say, a form of addiction as an example, or it could be very drastic outbursts. It could be tailing on a billion different types of examples, but that's kind of more so the area in which I'm feeling a lot of this energy deriving from. Like someone just did a 180 and you're like, yo, like, where's my friend? Where's my person? You know, like something's off, something's different. And there's a level of, I don't necessarily want to say, although this can resonate with a few of you, where you simply just feel unsafe. Okay, simply feel unsafe. That was, you just don't feel right by this person anymore. You want to distance yourself. You want to place some boundaries. I just heard bottom. The death card, okay? Perhaps maybe some of y'all are thinking about putting an end to this relationship, or it's interesting because I'm hearing, is it Justin Timberlake? Old me is dead and gone. T.I.? I don't know. But the person that you knew seemingly no longer is. And it's interesting because now that I'm thinking about offering some examples, I just heard you already know, pile number 4. Like you already know perhaps maybe the why behind this change, this behavior, character change. Okay. 5 of Cups, or not cups. Interesting that I said cups though. It's coins. It says materials here, but cups. So there could be some drinking involved because that's usually a part of my, I heard no in reverse. Perhaps maybe you live or lived with this person and now you no longer do. Or you're thinking about moving out. Okay, there's something about that here with the 10 of coins in reverse. It's like a parting of ways. Something's manifesting here that you've in a way seen coming. Pile number 4, please offer yourself more credit. Your intuition is definitely highlighting something to you about this person, okay? No, I believe that you are not crazy, okay? I believe that a lot of your reasonings and your feelings and all of which you have been noticing about this particular person that we're channeling through for you today, Soul Fam, is all valid. And at least to you, it's accurate based on, I think that you see this person more than like the average. Like you really know this person. And where the 5 of coins comes in here, right? This is my self-esteem card, if you will. Okay, it definitely shows me that there is something about the sense of personal value that needs changing and or has been changed. There's like a slump, right? Like when I'm saying change too, 5 is the number of change. I mean, with death card here too, I mean, what greater transformation and transmutation rather of change than death and birth, right? Like those are the two, well, one wouldn't call a death a miracle, but perhaps you would in certain cases. Anyways, I digress. The 5 of coins meaning value of the physical body, there seems to be something like deteriorating, something is not lining up. The Ace of Coins here, I think that this is your energy here, Pal 4. You know, I think that you were always this grounding point. You were always and willing and likely maybe even to a certain degree still are to like offer this person advice or like a second, a third, an umpteenth time chance. And yet it's now becoming like way too loud. I don't know. And I think to certain degrees, like why you're here wanting to perhaps maybe dive into this person is because like, I mean, like what's going on is like a really, you're almost like in disbelief at how someone can change so much. And I can tell, pile number 4, you have a really beautiful big heart. And I think that a lot of y'all, I just heard crossroads. You're at a crossroads debating whether or not you leave this person, if it's even okay for you to be around this person, if they're just too far gone. And here's the thing, right? I believe that a lot of you right now, Pal 4, are beginning to understand that some people's experiences are not your business to help. Especially when you've tried so many times and you've been hit with like a block or refusal or resistance or worse. Okay, perhaps maybe some things were really said. Perhaps maybe it got physical or something at one point and you backed off and you're like, what? Like, you know, I'm seeing a few different cases here. So number 1, I will say, regardless if this is a YouTube video or not, if there are any signs of danger or abuse in your life, soul fam, please go ahead and get some help. Okay, get out of the situation as best and as much as possible. This is not love. It doesn't matter to me, respectfully, if this is a platonic relationship, a romantic relationship, if this is family, okay, you always have a way out. That is to the select few who needed that, okay? So please always ask for help. Sometimes it's just as simple as saying help. Believe me, okay? Okay. Yep, we're going to breathe that message out. So to this person, you were like this grounding individual, okay? You were a grounding source. Could they have maybe stolen a little bit from your energy, like an energy vampire? Maybe, okay? Maybe that's what they turned to. It's like they started to take advantage of how much you've given them, right? That now it feels as though you kind of want to go and hide. It's very interesting because I've never read this card the way that is intuitively coming out right now, but it's almost like you want to transform into like an inanimate object. I mean, a rose is definitely alive, but you understand what I'm saying, right? It's like you just want to project yourself into like a new reality and to just get away. There's a deep escapism here that I'm feeling from you. And I just heard like, I don't know how, my house isn't a home. Oh, so fam, what's going on, Jew? This connection could also be making you feel a little bit more I don't want to say worthless, because that definitely doesn't align to a lot of you. That could be the case for a few of you. It came out for a reason, but nevertheless, it's like you're slightly devaluing yourself. You're making more exceptions for this person's behaviors and the way that they treat you, the way that perhaps maybe you're starting to view yourself. Maybe they're just saying some really nasty things to you or making you second guess like your capabilities or something, right? Like sometimes, especially when we love somebody, we take on some of their things and it's out of character for ourselves. And yet, you know, you've taken on enough of this person's energy. You have noticed the change. You've noticed that they perhaps may be unwilling to actually ask for help. Because the other thing about the phage, okay, I don't know what that was. The 5 of coins is that they're usually right outside of a church that you can tell is currently available to walk into because the lights are on. It's welcoming. And yet they choose to still sit outside, cowering. Perhaps maybe they hold too much pride to ask for help anymore. Or perhaps, again, you've given it so much that now they just take from you. Take. I'm getting pulled to that hand here. And you're left at a point here where you're like, I don't know what else there is to do. Like so the 3 of, wow. I just have to check if my deck is in reverse. It's not. The 3 of Cups in reverse. This to me is definitely some form of an ending. I think a lot of y'all are debating whether or not to choose yourself. The 5 of Cups came out here and it's in reverse. So I will say this. Interesting, 5 and 5. And I did say 5 of Cups when this came out too, so this is cool. Tarot speaking, not situationally, because I'm not a fan of this message here, but hey, some of y'all need to hear it. So let's go through it. We'll definitely pull some more advice cards for you, okay? We'll expose as much as we can, but I think that like the difference here for my pile number 4 is that like this is going to be tailored more for you and the greater understanding that you require in order for you to potentially honestly move on. I think hanging on to this connection will only hurt you both in the end, you know. Sometimes people must choose to change and put in the effort into themselves. There's no one in the world that can help you unless you are willing to help yourself and be open to that and try and stay committed, right? No matter what is the cause for this quote unquote darkness in somebody's life, okay? Whatever it is that took over to them, whether it's grief, anger, perhaps it's just narcissism reeling its head. I mean, there's a million ways that we can go about this, especially for a general reading on YouTube. Nonetheless, so fam, they're not your responsibility to heal. And perhaps maybe you wanted to be, okay, because you're a caring individual, so fam, and you love your friends, your family, the people that you're in relationships with, and you understand their darkness, likely because you have your own, and you humanize it, right? But then it becomes an excuse that you make for that person. And now you're reaching a point where, as difficult as this pill is to swallow, you are to move away. Again, I said there's like some sort of like a separation here, right? Regardless of whether or not you live or lived with this person, there is a distance that is now required, right? A lot of these coming together cards here, like the 3 of Cups upright, this is showing a lot of like unity, parties, I don't know, like fun, friendship. This is the perfect little trinity. You know, a lot of times this is third party for some people, but it being in reverse is showing me the absolute opposite. Things are coming to an end. And with the 5 of Cups in reverse, it's like they're letting it all out. This is still their energy that we're identifying, but I'm definitely intertwining a lot of your energy here too. Just because, again, the messages are designed for you, pile number 4. But they could be taking out a lot on you. It's almost becoming very predictable. I'm getting pulled to the moon here, right? Like we know the phases of the moon. Whether the clouds are out or not, we know what phase the moon is going to be. It's a cycle. It's like a repetitiveness. And I just heard, here we go again. And I think that more and more these episodes, these experiences, these like collisions, these energetic like clashes of sorts, or you're witnessing something and you are just, it hurts you more and more the more that you witness it, right? Witness this person hurting themselves or going the wrong direction, whatever that means, okay? There's people adopt right and wrong differently. So however it is that that resonated with you, soul fam, it's hurting you. There's no light way of putting it. We have the 9. Is this deck in reverse? There's so many reversals. Like I don't get many reversals. 9 of Wands in reverse. So now, so fam, it's like you're wanting to let your guard down, okay? The thing is, if this is about their energy and they no longer have like this like resistance towards change and they don't have their guard up that much anymore, this could be a sense of like out of controlness. Like they have, I think this person's spinning. If it's not as like dramatic, which at this point you would have probably clicked off, okay? But if it's not as like dramatic as like some life-altering thing, it could just mean that due to, wow, all of the cards fell on the floor. Brilliant. Due to a lot of changes within yourself, okay? You've noticed the misalignment. Perhaps maybe you're noticing how much this person hasn't quite changed, hasn't taken life's opportunities to grow as an individual and mature themselves however which way they are to do, right? And you're noticing a very deep misalignment with y'all, and perhaps maybe this person's like still stuck in what I like to call the high school mentality. You can be in your 40s and someone can still be consistently reminiscing about high school, like those were their glory days, right? And so they still kind of act as if they're stuck in that mode of thinking, of reacting to certain situations. Perhaps this person's constantly calling you for like help, 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 to the point that you're like, you're just exhausted. You're like, what the heck is going on? Like, how much more advice am I to give you? That's never to say that like you're a bad person for walking away from someone. All I'm saying here is that boundaries are very important when you notice yourself give more than you're able to take. Like, if this connection isn't something that is equally given and reciprocated, you know, like you're actually sensing a deeper value here. Perhaps maybe your presence and like this person's dependency on you is also devaluing themselves too, because they're unable or unwilling, or perhaps maybe, for wrong words, trained, right? They're conditioned to always depend on somebody else to save the day. So they've never actually done it for themselves. And now, karmically speaking, I just heard it ends with you. Perhaps maybe you're like the last person in this individual's life, pile number 4, whether it be a friend or more, it depends. Again, generally speaking though, there's this urge to now be like, I have to let you go. And that might actually be like the healthiest thing that you can offer them. And also yourself, right? Like sometimes we think that like we're abandoning the people that we love as soon as we like stop answering their calls for help, right? We're no longer their punching bag. We're always there to support them and make excuses for them and validate their responses that are just hurtful. And we think that we're abandoning them. We think that we would do them more harm. That's our own shadow coming up to the surface, because we would never want someone to leave us like that. And yes, that can be painful. And yet sometimes you're not the one to help this person. Maybe they need to actually get more hurt. I know that's a crazy way of thinking, but like maybe they in fact need to hit their rock bottom. Like what you think is their rock bottom, shoot, maybe that would be your rock bottom, but they've still got ways to go. And Spirit is protecting you to part. Okay, hold on, because now we're having explosions here. Take these. Okay, so I heard 2 for you. Interesting. I think these are your cards, so we'll just wait on these for a hot second, okay? Let's just finish, quote unquote, identifying them, which I'm pretty sure it's already here and done. Ace of Wands in reverse with the Knight of Swords upright. I think they're very vocal, this person, about their flaws, about what it is that they're missing. Perhaps maybe they're taking very desperate actions towards feeling something, like they're trying to rack up that dopamine in ways that are perhaps maybe more toxic or more dangerous or are more substance-based. Or perhaps even this person's like addicted to dating, for example, and like you're tired of this person like getting their heart broken and you're like, can't you see how valuable you really are? Like it could be something like that. It could be as extreme, which I feel like it is for some of y'all tuning in. So my love to you. And again, ask for help. Help is always available to you. Or it could just be something as subtle as friendships now going awry and you're sitting here going like, yay. With the Knight of Swords here, they could be really quick to talk, quick to jump to conclusions, very fast-paced, very witty, okay? Like, I think that this person's quite a good conversationalist nonetheless. There's definitely connections there, right? Like, you love this person for a reason. Pile number 4, but now lately what it is that they're saying lacks inspiration. It lacks passion. It lacks that spark, that joy, that light that you know is them. There's a part of them that is gone in a way that hurts you to see, to notice, right? Or perhaps maybe they haven't gone through this ego death, right? Because this could also very well be an ego death. Honestly put, I think just a lot of you are getting tired and you're at your wit's end and you're feeling as though you're out of possibilities to help this person. And that in its own is a very painful realization, especially because, I mean, I can tell here that you really love this person. So for you, we have the Two of Wands with the Ace of Cups, or emotions and inspirations. This is Wands, this is Cups. It's time for you to really fill into your own cup, into yourself, okay? Put yourself first. Perhaps maybe if this isn't about necessarily like completely moving away from this person, just give yourself a beat. Like, do something that's just for you. Do not notify this person what you're doing and where you're at. Just like take care of you. Give yourself, again, like a day, a few hours. Like, go for a massage or something where you have to put your phone down and away. Like, just do something for yourself, okay? The Two of Wands is you just kind of really looking outside of your box, okay? Looking at all the various types of possibilities for you, again, to fill up your own cup. Because I think that a lot of you are like running on dry, if you will. Like, I think, yeah, pile 4, if there's any sort of advice that I could offer is to give yourself some more love. Like, shoot. We're going to use the sacred symbols for divination and meditation deck. This is a new guy that I just got recently, so it's been cool to work with them. But I might actually utilize this deck a little differently as messages come out. Meaning that, like, in the past 3 piles, I've used this deck to, like, quote unquote, expose this person even more, right? But I think that just as we were identifying this person, there was a lot of things that were specifically just for you to deal and things like that. I think that just might be the case here as well. We have message, and I heard one more. I don't know which card that was, so I'm just going to take 2 of these. New life and spiritual cleansing. Yay. So fam, I know this is just a general reading on YouTube. If you ever want to book something more precise and concise to you, knmwitchery.com is the only place that you can book with me. I've already got my calendar up. Everything's on there for y'all, okay? Why I said that is because this is still a YouTube reading, so for me to sit here and be like telling you what to do, or at least giving you advice through, again, a general reading isn't, well, it just may not be accurate. But if you, tuning in pile 4, have been asking for a sign to leave this situation, to go about your own, to cleanse yourself, to, again, move away from this person, to put an end to this, to go no contact, to put, even if you're not directly breaking up with this person, just like, I don't know, just backing away. I feel like some of y'all need to like ghost them a little bit. Like, you just, that, okay? If you've been looking for a sign for any of the aforementioned, the answer is yes, like, go, okay? New life. 10 of coins in reverse, 3 of cups in reverse. So fam, I've been saying it from the start. This is some sort of like an ending likely waiting to happen for a lot of y'all. Or if this has already happened, this is the confirmation that you need that you have made the right choice. And now it's good to fill up your own cup and keep finding and rediscovering new ways, okay? When it comes to stormy, this is definitely that energy between y'all two, okay? Sometimes it's very calm, like you can still be in the eye of the storm and it's seemingly being very calm, quite safe, and then out of nowhere, right? Like things start crumbling, the waves start getting wilder. You're not really sure what it is to expect, okay? This is the energy that is between y'all. There is something missing here. I just heard also follow the 2s. So whoever needed that. Meditate. I think a lot of y'all have already begun to do that. And I think when it comes down to it, pile number 4, some of the, nose itch on that, some of the intuitive next steps that you've been receiving are ones that you may be really unwilling to take, meaning walking away, putting an end to this relationship. Like, you may not actually want to. I understand that, but Sometimes you need to, for the betterment of the both of you. Understand that you're not being selfish, to be honest. Like, taking your step out of somebody's life and recognizing that this is their karma, that you are perhaps maybe not the person for it. I mentioned that again, okay? Some things, some connections aren't your responsibility. When we're talking about karmics, when we're talking about soulmates and things like that, you can have a soulmate that turns karmic, okay? Because when you are choosing to stay together far after the quote unquote spiritual contract between you two has been laid out, you've learned what you needed to learn, the experience led you exactly where it is that you needed to be led, and then all of a sudden you've just like decided that like, well, now we have to be friends forever, we have to be together forever, but like spiritually, contractually, universally, even energetically, you're feeling as though, well, we're done here, like, you know. And to part ways in peace is incredibly possible. And that's why, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to this too with your own experiences, if you think about people that have just like come in and out of your life, like, and you pick up as if it's almost like where you left off, you know, and there's no curiosities here. And that's because like your soul meets when you need to, and then you're more willing to part as you do, okay? When we hang on too tightly, that is when the connection becomes karmic. What is karma? It is a lesson that repeats itself over and over and over again, likely getting harder and harsher and more painful every single time until it is met with changed behavior. When you break the pattern, when you choose to walk away. Detachment is never to be mistaken with abandonment. Sometimes you just have to detach. It is not your energy, not your monkeys, not your circus, baby. So why are you making it yours? Because you love and care for this person? Yes. Beautiful. What about you? What is the message of transformation here for you? What is this experience teaching you? How can you make this personal then? How can you find inspiration to heal yourself and be a better person and a wiser person for you? What's the message here? You're both undergoing a transformation, a death of sorts, a rebirth nonetheless. Consider perhaps maybe the paths needing to flood a different direction. Notice I was going to say ambiance, interesting. Notice the almost like diluted colors. It's dark, it's mysterious, it's abstract here. Here it's green. It's heart chakra focused. Two completely different vibrations of transformation, two paths chosen. Both valid, both necessary, and who knows, like, I know especially when we're so witness to like the horrible things that happen to people and around people and to ourselves naturally, that our brain will naturally want to keep us safe, right? And so it'll formulate different causes and reasons to be afraid in order to keep us safe, to have us be prepared and things like that. What I'm saying is that maybe the outcome doesn't have to be as horrendous as is currently depicted or perceived, even though it's still valid. But two truths can exist simultaneously. What if you letting them go would be their cause and reason to hit rock bottom so much that it was actually the thing that inspired them to grow and heal? Perhaps having this dependency on a person, whether this is you or otherwise. I'm speaking very generally right now, Pile 4. What if that dependency was so strong that it was actually the obstacle? It was the thing that would condone this behavior or this pattern until it was broken, until it ended, until conditions were laid out, boundaries were set, and they were honored. And that was what was needed to bridge that gap. I'm just saying, like, what if you can think about it in a positive perspective? What's your intuition really telling you, soul fam? If your intuition is telling you to leave, trust in that. Let me know how this is resonating with y'all so far, okay? Let's dive into the Animal Apothecary. Shout out to Monica for gifting this to me. I love this deck. I'm gonna shuffle. Shuffle. I just heard no reversals. My nose itched like crazy on that, so. Let's move this aside so we can actually place cards out here nice visibly. All right, let's get some more advice here for Pile 4. What does Pile 4 need to know about this connection? We have abundance. Okay, love that for you. We have tame and attain. Ooh, I also heard lead by example when I saw that. Evolve into your complexity. Definitely a beautiful transformation occurring for you. I heard one more here. I did hear bottom, so what was that? You are more. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right. Fly. You have perspective here based on your experiences, based on your tenacity to also overcome. Maybe you are such a reliable source for this person because the issues that they are experiencing and going through are ones that you have overcome yourself. And thus you offer them the right tangible advice, etc., things that worked for you. You know how to be for them, there for them rather. You know, like you're just kind of a trained professional with this person. You really know them and you know the situation. And I will say again, even though it's a general reading on YouTube, the messages here are consistently telling you to fly, to go above it. And understand that if you fly even a little bit higher, then a lot of the messages that I've been telling you today might resonate and might click. But you're on an ascension path here, Soul Fam, and so are they. And I know sometimes it feels and seems as though, especially spiritually speaking, because usually people are under the impression, especially New Age spirituality, that like the more you heal, the happier and at ease you are, and like you're barely ever triggered, and you're like, I don't know, It's the opposite, in fact. Ascension is peeling back the onion layers to your core essence. That does require pain. Sometimes pain is required in order to learn. It's how we actually start to listen more. And sometimes that pain becomes comfort, but it's because you are required to sit in it longer. We're all on a different spiritual path here, Soul Fam. Both of you are ascending. You're just ascending into different levels and layers, and that's not making one better or worse than the other, okay? But you're ascending in such a way that, Soul Fam, it is now required for you to go a different direction. Higher, lower, however it is that you want to make this yours. But there's definitely something here that you're sensing needs to change. And I'm going to say that that starts with you, okay? Because when we're really wanting something to change, how is it that we can lead by example? How can we become the change that we wish to see? If you wish that this person would set boundaries, however it is, why don't you honor and set your boundaries then? Evolve into your complexity. There's different, I was going to say like layers, another 3. There's a lot of 3s here for you, right? We have 33, we have 30, we have 3. Wow. So maybe 3s have something to do with you. But there's different ways that we can really view one experience. 2 things can exist simultaneously. 2 truths can exist simultaneously. Tame and attain, this is about yourself. Reeling yourself back in. It's always personal. And the abundance factor here, Soul Fam, you attract what it is that you are. Okay, that also includes its equal opposite, by the way, because oftentimes people are like, well, I'm not a narcissist, so why do I attract narcissists? It's because you attract its equal value and its opposite, right? As above, so below. So be wary when spirit is telling you to utilize more of your discernment and healthy judgment in order to make a safe decision for yourself. Especially if that means, so fam, that you are to now fly away, do your own thing. Okay, spiritual cleansing. I love the fact that it's also depicted by some tears here. Okay, maybe you just really have to like let it out. Like, this person hurt you too. I'm acknowledging that. This is still as painful to you as it may be to them, and vice versa. Okay, this is definitely no competition. We all experience things our own. And one thing that is very clear here is that there is currently a misalignment, and it's best for you both, again, as a general YouTube reading, so take it only as it resonates, use your intuition, but it's best, I think, to walk away and continue to evolve into yourself. Be the inspiration that this person needs, okay? Because you can still secretly, silently inspire somebody just by walking away, so fam, you would be surprised. So if your reason for walking away is perhaps maybe because you're afraid this person would be worse off, or that they would hate you for it, or that they would misunderstand why. So fam, that's just you trying to control their way of thinking. And how lucky have you been with that so far? Okay, so consider maybe that is also just your shadows keeping you somewhere that you know you have grown out of. You have experienced this before. It is no longer yours. And who knows? Your paths may reconnect again. You may be their inspiration for their rebirth. You may be the ego death that they needed. I think in the future, this person might end up thanking you. But again, this is just a general YouTube reading, so take it as it is. This was so much deeper than I expected it to be, but hey, I hope it helped, Pal 4. Much love to you, really, truly. I think you're onto some magnificent things, by the way, so please don't mirror this person's temporary, albeit energy, regardless of how long this temporary is, okay? Don't take on their lack of value in themselves, okay? Like, push forward. Understand that there's really wonderful connections and transformations and intuitive prompts and abundance and complexity and evolution, and there's a whirlwind of life to continue to experience, okay? So this isn't the end all for you either. So just keep on flying, okay? Fly, 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 fly. Pizza pie. Love you, Pal 4. Thank you so much again for spending some time with me today. Let me know with a like or comment down below. Definitely be sure to subscribe, join the Soul Fam tribe. And if I don't see you in another pile, I sure hope to see you in another video. Thanks again. Peace.